Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Masked Wrestling Reviews, where I look at the Fight Nation Where History Ends, The Future Begins show I attended earlier in the month on the 18th of October. They previously ran a show at Turin School on the 18th of January this year, which features a stat card featuring the like of Haskins, McKenzie, Sid Scala, Stones Cross Memorial Hall, about 10 minutes down the road from there, a smaller, more intimate venue, able to sell the place out. Only a couple of seats left, really, and it was really good fun. Same prices again, which is really nice for me. Then I was able to factor in a nice cheeky walk to the venue and concession stand and get myself a drink halfway through at the interval. Start of the event, they set up a promo in the middle of the ring to set up the main event, which was great. So if people who hadn't been to a previous Fight Nation show, anyone who'd been there previously saw Lucian came out, started the chant of Wax Your Back. Amir Jordan was great getting over with the crowd as a good guy. Lucian, classic heel twist with him taking the belt, saying that the belt is his, and the promoters saying that they're going to set up a new tournament to determine an undisputed British champion, which led us into the first match, Taylor James versus Joe Wade, which was a good, fun first match. Crowd was lively into it straight away, asking for more chops, one more chops, please one more chop. And the wrestlers happily obliged, which was great to see. Both of them working the crowd well, with Goth Boy picking up the win. The next match up was a tag match between Lions Pride, and again, people who came before knew who Lions Pride were straight away. But again, when they came out, people who hadn't seen them before knew straight away Lions Pride, not going to be nice. It was lovely to see Cameron wrestling again, where he was wrestling previously at Turing, and again getting more offense in, looking strong in what was a loss to Lions Pride. The finish coming with Cameron accidentally getting hit by his tag team partner. Again, nice, fun match. Everyone getting involved, working the crowd. Everyone went home nice and happily. Ollie Thompson versus Adam Mansfield. It was a squash match. It was always going to be a squash match, to be honest. Mansfield came out on the mic straight away, talking about the crowd in a derogatory manner. And then Ollie Thompson coming out a la Goldberg, hitting a few moves, getting the pin and getting the win. Post-match, leader of Lions Pride, Rocco, came out on the VT saying that he was at Heathrow Airport, looking forward to taking on another collision with Ollie Thompson later on. Again, the two members of Lions Pride came out, had a bit of a stare down. Ollie Thompson cleans house, and I'm looking forward to seeing Ollie versus Rocco later on at a future FNW event. We then saw the Z Force Championship, spoiler alert, change hands. Donny won the event previously at the Turing School show back in January in a tournament that happened in one night for multiple TV episodes. And again, an absolutely fun match. Donny working the crowd really well. Ian putting himself over really well. Ian winning the title, having his foot on the ropes to get the win. Donny leaving the ring, shocked, upset. But at the end of the day, a loss is a loss, and I look forward to seeing a rematch between these two wrestlers. We then had the women's match for the event, which was Natalie Sykes versus Ollie Jackson. And to be honest, this one was a really, really, really good and enjoyable match. Natalie was super over, even though she was a heel, working a gimmick really, really well, involving it straight away. This is the first time that I'd seen Natalie wrestle. And seeing how she worked the gimmick with a mobile phone, being that bratty girl, it worked really well. Crowd was completely interactive. Obviously, after Natalie coming out like that, the crowd was super over for Ollie, who was making her FNW debut. Again, they worked the match really well. It was hard to determine what was going to happen next because they were working it really well, with Natalie getting the win at the end. Both of them put on a really, really good match, which was really enjoyable, which then was followed by an even better match. If I could travel back in time and watch this match again and again and again, honestly, I would. It was an absolute clinic. To begin with, I was trying to work out Matt coming out as a face, Jordan coming out as a face. What's going to happen in this match? How's it going to look? Jordan did a feign injury angle, which then brought in an element of psychology with a particular injury to his wrist, which then worked into the rest of the match. That was absolutely beautifully done. And it was an absolute clinic. It was an absolutely beautiful, wonderful match. Both the wrestlers interacting with the crowd really, really well. And what I liked to begin with, they were both faces. They were both working the crowd, both in a good boy way. But at the end of the match, after the pin, they had a good old-fashioned brawl, and it was great to watch. The crowd were involved in it. chanting, let them fight, let them fight, let them fight. It was really, really good. We had the grand spectacle of the referee calling for the locker room to empty to separate them. They couldn't be separated, asking for more people to come out of the locker room. They couldn't be separated until they eventually were told to go to separate locker rooms. Again, having that long-term storytelling, which I'll touch on towards the end, was really good fun to watch. And again, seriously, if FNW, you recorded the footage, please, please, please put this match online. It was an absolute spectacle to behold, which then led us to the main event, Amir versus Lucian. Again, Lucian came out as the heel with a title he took on earlier in the match. Amir, super, super over, working the crowd fantastically well. Again, this match, again, it went both ways. There wasn't a dominant force at all during the match, with them taking even shots, with Amir getting the win, the Lucian looking ridiculously strong, and Amir going out to celebrate in the crowd. If you've not seen the pictures, he literally sat next to two lads in the crowd, had some fun. Check the pictures on their socials. It was great fun. There we can see, again, small, intimate venue. You can see the referee on the right-hand side where the food concession stand was. It was a really small, intimate event, which was really good fun to watch. Closing thoughts on the event. It was absolute good fun to watch. When I went to the previous FNW taping at Turing School, I was like, this is good fun. I hope to see them again. They then booked a couple of shows, which unfortunately got cancelled, which then led to this show. It was really good fun to watch. This is the second FNW show I've been to, and I'm walking away thinking, yeah, I want to watch that again, please. Please come back. And they were going to announce that they should be coming back to the local area in December, which I'll be buying tickets for straight away. Sykes versus Jackson was an absolute great match. Working around again, FNW, please put that match online. It was absolutely great to watch. Gatlin versus Brooks was again absolutely great storytelling in the ring, out of the ring, with the psychology of the arm injury, how it all worked and intertwined into the match, post-match brawl. Again, I absolutely loved it. Using the promo to hype the main event, people who hadn't been before, getting them awake, making sure they know who to chant for, who to boo for. And again, the long-term story planning, I know, hopefully, touch wood, don't let me down FNW, going forward, I'm going to see Ollie Thompson versus Rocco in what's going to be a decent match. I'm going to see Gatlins versus Brooks in a decent match. It's going to be absolutely good fun. We're seeing what they do with the Z Force Championship moving forward as well. I'm liking the long-term storytelling because there's some shows out there where they do a show, they do another show. They're isolated. There's no continuity. You have a wrestler appearing once, they disappear for a while, and then they come back again with, oh, he's come back to wrestle here. The feeling I had leaving this show is that this is essentially going to be chapter one moving forward. And it was such great fun to watch. Again, FNW, I know you were recording the footage. I saw what you were doing. Please, please, please make sure as much footage of the show goes as possible online. Which brings us to the end of this review. I hope you liked it. It is the debut. Any comments, feel free to check them my way. Again, thank you very much to FNW for what was a great show. All the images obviously belong to them. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on a future review.